Boo bitches! Welcome to episode 122 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons.
123.
Boo bitches! Welcome to episode 123 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River,
And I'm Ren.
and today we're going to talk about Genies and Djinn. But
Yes.
first, what are we drinking? We
We
weren't very adventurous today. We've both got a lot
No.
going on, but
Yes.
uh, we both like mead and we both have mead in our respective houses. So we're
Always.
like, let's do it. So that's what
Yep.
we're drinking today. And I'm actually drinking out of my little Viking cup that you always drink out of when you come over.
I'm drinking out of like the plastic cups that you get to drink out of in restaurants. I have one of those, and that's literally what my meat is in. It's in nothing fun, nothing special, not a cute little chalice like you. I wish, but cheers.
Cheers. Yum.
So I guess let's just get right into it and talk
Hmm.
about what is a genie and Djinn.
Hmm.
So genies, also known as Djinn, I mean, I feel like it's interchangeable. We'll
It's
talk
a
a little bit about
cultural
it.
thing,
Yes,
but yeah,
yes. They have captivated human imagination for centuries with their magical allure and mystical abilities.
hmm
So these supernatural beings, often depicted as powerful entities bound to lamps or magical objects, have left a really big mark on our
hmm
folklore, mythology across various cultures.
hmm
So I wanted to delve deep into the rich tapestry of the lore. I wanted to explain and explore their origins, characteristics, and just all the fascinating things about them.
Definitely.
So, to start off, in Islamic tradition, genies or jinn, Jin,
Yeah, there's actually it's several spellings.
yes,
Uh Jin,
N,
Jinn,
N, yeah,
Djinn.
hmm
And
or
actually Jini or Jinni is the singular for genie,
okay,
for Jinn.
yes,
Okay.
okay. So they are believed to be created by Allah from smokeless fire, which I thought was really cool. They
Hmm.
are considered sentient beings from free will, similar to humans, and they exist on a parallel world alongside humans. Importantly, jinn have the capacity for both good and evil actions, just sort of like humans,
Like humans.
and their behavior can vary widely, just like
Yeah,
humans.
just like humans. Yeah, they're
hmm
supposed to actually resemble humans, but are
hmm
invisible. But like humans, they like to live in tribes, eat, they drink, they have emotions, but they are usually believed to be stronger than the average human is.
hmm
And
hmm
while there are some people who fear the jinn, some people pray to them for protection.
Yes.
So just like humans, they're not inherently good or evil, but they can get married, they can have children, they observe social customs. So very similar to humans, but they possess magical abilities. And when they die, they will face judgment for their sins, just like humans are supposed to.
hmm And so some of the origins, some believe that they're rooted in the Quran, the holy
Hmm.
book of Islam, which mentions the creation of jinn from smokeless fire and several verses. The
Hmm.
Quran acknowledges that jinn, like humans, are accountable for their actions and will be judged accordingly.
Hmm.
In various Islamic stories and traditions, they are depicted as powerful and supernatural beings with abilities beyond those of humans, like be
Hmm.
stronger and all of that.
Hmm.
They are influenced by the physical world, interact with humans as normal, and even take on different forms, which, I mean,
That's interesting.
I thought that was pretty cool. And it's also scary as well,
Hmm.
because you don't know how they're going to be perceived.
Hmm.
The concept of good and evil Jin is emphasized, highlighting the importance of discernment and caution when dealing with these beings.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for
I feel like
sure.
we've heard tales.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, from the Islamic theology, genies have found their way from there all the way into pop culture, from
Hmm.
stories like Arabian Nights and Aladdin. Even Disney did a version of genies and Aladdin, to
Hmm.
Sinbad the Sailor, and then of course the I Dream of Genie TV show. That was way back in the day. That was more my
I've
parents'
never
genre.
seen. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never seen.
I remember them having it on, but I don't really
Hmm.
remember what it's about.
Hmm.
But a genie or jinn's characteristics and abilities, they have several. So
Hmm.
shape-shifting, they are believed to have the ability to change their form to take on various shapes that can range from animals to human. The concept of shape-shifting adds an element of unpredictability when you're interacting with them, because
Hmm.
you don't know that it's a genie if it looks like a dog or whatever.
Yeah.
And invisibility, they are said to be able to become invisible at will. So they can watch us unobserved, and they can interact with our world without us being able to see them.
Wild.
I
Wild.
know. And that, of course, enhances the mystery about genies and their potential influence on events. And so that made me start thinking, I wonder if haunted houses, we talked about um, ghosts in an episode a little bit ago, and I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah, yeah.
if
No,
that
After
might
Dark.
be, oh, that's right.
Hmm.
Maybe it was the jinn or a genie who is
Maybe
actually
it could.
doing this haunting, not
Maybe.
ghosts. And if they can shape shifts, if they can shift shapes,
Shift
wow.
shape. If they can shift shape.
If they can change their form, let's say that, maybe they can
Okay.
appear like a ghost. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe.
I mean, that's a thought because I mean, we only think about ghosts on like, oh, it's a ghost, it's
Mm-hmm.
invisible, it's you can walk right through it, you can't see it. But
Mm-hmm.
what if it is something like we talked about? Like we might not, we don't know what they are, and it could
Mm-hmm.
be something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So they also have like teleportation and traveling powers. I thought
Yeah,
it's
that's very cool.
wild. So they have the ability to move swiftly and cover great distances almost instantaneously.
I think if I could have a magic power, that would be the one I would want.
I mean, that or flying,
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
if you fly and if you want to take a bunch of stuff with you, it's going to be hard to fly holding a suitcase.
I guess that's true.
Whereas if you could teleport, well, I don't know. It doesn't say that they can take stuff with them. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
And anyways, this can contribute to their role as messengers or beings capable of responding to human needs quickly.
Oh, that's true.
The idea of rapid travel underscores the supernatural nature of genies.
Hmm.
And then in some stories, genies are portrayed to have power to possess individuals or
Ooh.
objects,
Now, objects I had
which I
heard
thought
of.
was interesting.
Individuals is
Objects.
scary.
Yes, but it would make sense if they're able to possess like objects. It's easily like maybe animals, you can possess
Hmm.
people, etc. This possession can lead to various outcomes from granting wishes to influencing the thoughts and action of those affected.
Yeah,
And then,
what if they attach themselves to a necklace and you're wearing the necklace? They could
yeah,
probably affect a lot of things in your
yeah.
life.
So the ability to influence human affairs adds a layer of complexity to the relationship between humans and genies.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a little scary,
Hmm.
actually. Then, of course, they have the ability to grant wishes. That's the thing that everybody knows about genies and jinn. So the
Hmm.
story of Aladdin and the Magic Lamp is part of a collection of the Middle Eastern folk tales known as 1001 Nights or Arabian Nights. And
Hmm.
in the story, Aladdin discovers a magical lamp, and then when he rubs it, it releases this powerful genie that has the ability to grant wishes.
Yeah.
Generally, the common trope is that it's three wishes. That's the
Yes.
number, but
Yes.
that's just a common thought. There is no, we don't know if that's actually true or not.
Hmm.
The number of wishes is often set to three, and the lamp owner can make requests for anything they desire. So, as to the wish fulfillment, the wishes granted by the genie are meant to fulfill the desires of the lamp or whatever object's possessor. However, the stories often emphasize that you have to choose your words carefully as they can have unintended consequences.
Yes.
There are limitations and twists. So genie stories differ, but they often involve a limitation on wishes. For
Hmm.
example, um, a twist might be that a poorly phrased wish might lead to something horrible. And this
Yes.
element adds another sense of caution. All of these things are saying be cautious when dealing with genies and jinn.
Hmm.
Um, and they are also known to be a cross between mischievous and benevolent. And so that also adds to their character and definitely makes them unpredictable.
Yes. I mean, I think we've talked about that in witchcraft, and you have to be super specific when you
Hmm.
cast a spell. Like, let's
Hmm.
say you're casting a money spell, you have to be very specific on where you get the money from, etc., or how it's going
Hmm.
to come to you, or you have to specifically say no one in my family will be harmed,
Hmm.
etc.,
Hmm.
because you could get the money, but it could be an inheritance from your parents who just died in a car accident.
Right,
You have to
right.
be very, very specific, and I feel like that's kind of the same wavelength that genies have.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was curious because when I typed in genies and Djinn, it came up with different types.
Oh,
And so there are that what I saw, there's probably could be more, but I
hmm.
saw three main ones. Uh, Marid, I'm gonna pronounce these wrong. I know,
That
yeah.
sounds right.
Marid. Okay.
Okay.
Marids are often considered the most powerful type of Djinn. They are associated with bodies of water, such as oceans and seas.
Hmm.
They are known for great strength and ability to cause massive disruptions, and they sometimes are portrayed as rebellious or arrogant.
Okay.
And then you
Scary.
have the Ifrit,
Hmm.
Ifrit.
Okay.
Ifrits are fiery beings and known for their association with fire. They are powerful and often depicted as cunning and tricky.
Okay.
Ifrits are sometimes mentioned in stories as being the inhabit desolate or inhabitable areas.
Okay. Like, yeah, like deserts and things, maybe.
Like deserts.
Okay.
And then the third one is Scylla, Sila. They are considered a type of gin associated with deserts.
Oh,
So
so
I'm
those are the ones that are deserts. So Ifrit
mhm,
might be like more like a volcano or something
maybe something,
inhabitable.
maybe, yeah, like rocky, yeah, like
Hmm.
desolate.
Desolate. Hmm.
And then Scyllas, they're often portrayed as more benevolent and compared to the other types. And then
Okay.
in some traditions, they are believed to be protectors of certain regions or areas.
So they seem
So
like the nice ones.
I wouldn't say, I mean, how can you say anything is nice when
I
if
mean,
they're
true.
all going to be tricky or,
Hmm.
all of that, but they might be the more mild ones to deal
Hmm.
with.
Yeah. I mean, so this isn't just a Middle Eastern thing. Obviously, here in the United States, Disney came out with Aladdin. So genies and
Hmm.
jinn are well known all over the world. That concept of granting wishes is a popular motif in Western literature and
Yeah, we
theater and
all
film.
have wishes that we
Hmm.
wish could be granted like
Hmm.
that. Man.
In the South Asian cultures, jinn are believed to inhabit desolate areas. So I guess that would be the Ifrit.
Hmm.
Jinn have earned their reputation for manipulation, mischief, and malevolence. According to
Hmm.
Islamic theology, despite Allah demanding that jinn show fealty to Adam, the a jinn named Iblis, viewed
Hmm.
himself as superior to the human made from dirt. He
Okay.
defied Allah, and this supreme leader of the jinn set about luring humans to the dark side, so to speak. In
Okay.
some lore, Iblis is also known as Shaitan, which we came across this. We play World of Warcraft, and so the Shaitan was a whole one of the expansions was all about that.
Hmm.
But I didn't know that that was a genie. I had no idea
Hmm.
that there was a
Yeah, no,
connection
me
to
neither.
genies. But this has led to parallels being drawn between jinn, demons, or Satan.
Oh, wow.
Iblis and his cohorts' defiance of Allah led them to being banished, but they are given until Judgment Day to make amends,
Mm-hmm.
so they can always be saved.
Yeah.
And then there was an actual newspaper article I came across when I was doing research. Very
Hmm.
interesting. It was from 2011. And this was a real article. And it said that Iran's powerful clerics had been accused of, um, their clerics had accused the associates of President Mohammed Ahmadinejad of witchcraft, including summoning genies,
Oh,
right?
in 2011.
In
Wow.
2011. And one aide was described by the conservative Iranian newspaper as a man with special skills in metaphysics and connections with the unknown worlds. And
Wow.
he had been accused of summoning a genie who caused his interrogator to have a heart attack.
Oh my
A real
gosh.
newspaper artiple
Wow.
from Iran just as recently as 2011. Crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knew? I didn't know. I didn't see anything like that when I was doing my research.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have a lot of symbolism that I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Mm-hmm.
genies and jinn. So, they also have symbolism to unpredictable fate,
Yeah, for sure.
and then the importance of wisdom in decision making as
Mm-hmm.
well. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like we kind of already hit on, are the wishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the wishes, they symbolize the humanity's desires.
Yeah.
The wish is a motif that highlights the complexities and the pursuing of dreams. Like we
Mm-hmm.
all dream to have something, we all dream to be successful, we all, whatever it is.
And
And
be
then
careful
it
what you
is,
wish for.
yes,
Yeah.
and it takes work to get what you want, so it's not easy. So that's kind of like the play
Yeah.
on what the
Yeah.
theme of what a genie gen
Yeah. Be
is.
careful of what you can get for free from a genie because
Mm-hmm.
nothing is easy or free. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so unpredictable fate is really part of that symbolism that
Mm-hmm.
I think is really important to hone in on.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have cautionary tales that
Oh, for
come with
sure.
them,
Mm-hmm.
where like twisting of the words, where genies are often portrayed as being literal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they take your wish literally.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like, oh yeah, I wish I had money in my hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literal.
Mm-hmm.
But what type of money? You didn't say cash money. You didn't say
Mm-hmm.
$100 in bundles of like that equals 10 grand. If you say, I want money in my hands, they could give you a stack of pennies that crush your
Uh-huh.
fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very literal. They may
Mm-hmm.
fulfill the wish and it could adhere to those words, but it deviates from what the wisher intends
Mm-hmm.
and what they mean. And then the
Mm-hmm.
concept and a central element is the highlighting of importance of being precise. I mean, I'm just,
Yeah, and being
going on.
careful. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I know you have some
I
examples.
do. I have some examples. So this was all stuff. I don't know where I got these from, but this one guy, I, I am assuming these aren't real, but this one guy says the genie pranked me. I asked for $1 million and he filled my room with deer.
Oh, no.
A million deer. So obviously that can't be literal.
Uh,
Um, I found a genie at the gym. I asked for a six pack and he gave me a cold six-pack of beer.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's easier as well. Like instead of trying to conjure up this six pack, here's a literal six pack here, just take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like, okay, let me, yeah,
Yeah.
physically change you.
And one guy said, if I had a genie, my first wish would be to understand the terms and conditions of the wishes
Uh-huh.
because genies are notorious for their tricky wording.
Yes, yes, they are.
So that would be a very good first wish.
But then it could also trick you in a way to where they could leave stuff out.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't know.
gosh. The
I think,
terms and conditions, I don't
I
know.
mean, I think I would want my first wish to be infinite wishes. And my second wish would be to never gain weight from chocolate. And then my third
Okay.
wish to be a lifetime supply of chocolate. um,
Yeah.
but of course, you hear there are rules, like you can't bring someone back from the dead, or you can't ask for
Hmm.
infinite wishes, that kind of
You
thing.
can't like wish for money or something like that.
Yeah, there's one example that this guy said he wished for a body that could eat anything without gaining weight, and the next day he woke up as a refrigerator.
Oh God.
So and he didn't, I'm sure he didn't think, that
Yeah.
that was an even possible outcome of what he wished for. But
Yeah.
genies are tricky.
I mean, there are moral lessons there.
There really are. There is a lot of
You
lessons
know, you
there.
got to be careful, emphasize the importance of decision making. Do you really need to wish for that? Do you really
Mm-hmm.
need to risk whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, like,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I mean, I'm trying to think of what I would wish for and how it could backfire.
I know.
I mean, it's all unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
either.
so how can we work with them in witchcraft?
Okay. So the collaboration between witches and genies is kind of an intriguing fusion of magical entities because,
Hmm.
in fact, when I was doing this research, a lot of articles were genies versus witches. And I'm like,
Oh,
no, no, I'm not trying to pit ourselves against them.
no.
But it was more like articles about how we're both these magical entities as opposed to how a witch can work with them.
Hmm.
Um, but witches are generally associated with Western folklore practices, while the jinn and genies have their roots in Middle Eastern mythology and
Hmm.
theology.
Hmm.
So the idea of witches working with genies is an interesting blend that we could get an interesting blend of magic by working with the jinn.
Hmm.
So you could summon genies. We might have the ability to summon them. And this collaboration could involve us utilizing spells or ancient incantations to open portals, which I think we're going to do an episode on portals at some point.
At some point, it's on
Or
our
we
list.
yeah, so we can release genies from their mystical confines. I found one site that says jinn do in fact grant their master's wishes. However, they're not often granted immediately.
Oh.
And they also don't, like twinkle their nose and make it happen or nod their head like
Hmm.
whatever to make your wish come true. And once you make the wish, they will act as a sort of supernatural guide and help direct the energies surrounding your life towards achieving that wish. So it's not
Okay.
going to be it's possible if we work with them in our practice that we're not actually getting the wish fulfilled physically, but rather the jinn can help guide us and guide our energies towards us creating our own outcome that we want,
Yeah.
manifesting our
Yeah.
own outcome.
Hmm.
It says in due time your wish will be granted, but it could be years. And
Hmm.
then this says that also there is no such thing as just three witches. Once you summon and bind a jinn, the jinn recognizes you as its master, it will grant you unlimited wishes.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't like the idea of binding anything against its
No, I
will.
don't. Yeah, I don't like. And like in my head, I was like, okay, but could you wish for it to be free afterwards and
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't
I
be
think
able to
so.
have
Yeah, I
a
don't know.
master?
I
But
don't
then
know.
at the same time, like what is a free genie?
I
Like what
know.
could they do?
I
I don't
know.
know. Like I mean, just like us, like what can we do versus yeah.
But we might work with jinn and genies less in physical connection, but rather collaboratively. We can
Hmm.
collaborate with genies' energies and our energies and help use their energies to help us manifest what it is we're trying to do in witchcraft.
Yeah.
We can get additional insight from genies because they have a different view on things. And
Hmm.
they might, in addition, they might want us to give them insight on humans because they're not human. So
Yeah.
they might get something from witches as well. That might be a collaboration that would work nicely together.
Hmm.
Spell enhancement. Witches might seek genies to help enhance the potency of our magical workings. Genies they're innately magical, whereas witches we have to manipulate energies that are within us and outside of us,
Hmm.
whereas genies already have that. They're just
Yeah.
inherently, innately magical.
Yeah.
And so we could work with them to do that. The wish fulfillment thing, which is a big part of genies, we could go down that road, but I certainly don't think I'm a good enough writer or chess player to be able to think of all the potential
Yeah,
outcomes of what I would
exactly.
word. So I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, chess player is a really good,
Mm-hmm.
like, because there's so many things that you
Mm-hmm.
could, like, moves that you could do, and
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah, my
still,
husband, he plays chess and he can see like 8 moves ahead. And I'm like, so if I move the pawn here, what happens? That's about as far as I can go.
yeah,
But, collaborating with a genie to help you avoid making bad choices might not be a bad way to work with genies.
yeah, yeah. I
Use
feel,
them and their essence of cautionary tale type thing to help you
hmm
sidestep potential mistakes that you might make.
Yeah, I feel like there could be a lot of benefits, especially when it comes to knowledge. Because like we could share stuff with them that we have
Mm-hmm.
like herbalism, spellcraft,
Mm-hmm.
potion making, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And they could share like their like ancient wisdom or
Mm-hmm.
something like mystical realm of knowledge. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be really cool. Like exchanging, I mean, knowledge is something that's really important. So just sharing that back and
Yeah,
forth would be
for
something
sure.
really cool. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we could also work together and overcome a lot of challenges and defend the realm. Now I'm in like a movie. Defend the realm against like other threats or achieve
Mm-hmm.
common goals that we all have.
Mm-hmm.
And then summoning the powers associated with the genies or Djinn. I can't pick which one I want to use, so I'm just
I
using both.
know.
You can invoke and help work with their air magic. Like you can
That's
use
true.
them and they can help you, not use them, you know what I mean, but help each other
Mm-hmm.
enhance our magical abilities. So if you want to work more with air magic, then maybe you can work with genies. And
Mm-hmm.
then using the energy that they provide for travel, you can have these
Oh.
really cool, useful spells for physical travel, to dream walking and astral projection.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that you could do. I mean, think about like protection and warding as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, given the unpredictability and mischief of them, like they might be able to offer some protection on that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they might be like, no, I'm not going to help you protect yourself from mischievous things like me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they could. So, I mean, you can have talismans and amulets. Like there's so much stuff that we could come together and kind of understand, and we can do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then off of the protection and warding, genies, they can use talismans and amulets, and more specifically, the Taois
Hmm.
is one of the
It's an
amulets or
amulet. Yeah, like
talisman.
a mm-hmm.
It's a in the Islamic culture, it is a amulet or charm that is containing verses from the Quran or
Mm-hmm.
prayers, and it is worn for protection against these evil forces. So that is something that you could learn from the
Mm-hmm.
genies. And
Mm-hmm.
then they also have the Hamas hand, which is a symbol in various cultures, um, to ward off the evil eye. So it's sort of like an evil eye protection.
Is that hand that we see with the thumb and the thing that
Maybe.
point
I
outward,
I
maybe?
didn't quite, I just read articles about it. I didn't see any
Okay.
pictures.
I wonder if that's
And
what that
so
is.
they also provide protection. So I mean, I feel like a lot can come from combining knowledge, and I know basically all the knowledge that we're researching and all of that. That's probably not the extent. There's probably so much more to it.
Oh, I'm sure. And if you are trying to, if you've gotten on the bad side of a genie, there are things that you can try to do to keep genies away from you.
Oh yeah.
Um, you can use magical symbols and rituals like the pentacle. That's at least in the Western culture is a protective symbol.
hmm
Um, you can use salt and iron, which is said to, salt has always been said to purify spaces, and iron is thought to repel negative energies. I just wonder if you get a genie on your bad side, is there really anything you can do about it?
I
I don't
mean,
know.
maybe. I don't
Like they
know.
they say herbs and incense, that you can use herbs to cleanse and purify spaces to get rid of negative energies.
hmm
Frankincense and myrrh are supposed to be used in spiritual traditions for purifying and protecting. So that might be something you could use. And then the evil
Mhm.
eye talisman
The
is,
talismans that I talked
mhm.
about, you can definitely use those as well.
And then the last one I found was garlic and onion.
Oh,
Well, in some tradition, garlic and onions are considered protective against supernatural entities, including the jinn.
wait. So sometimes they can be invisible, right?
Yes,
But and they're ward off by garlic. I'm
yes,
getting like a vampire connection here where
maybe so.
vampires, they can't see the reflection.
Right,
So I don't know where
right.
I'm going with that, but
Yeah,
maybe,
maybe,
could be.
maybe.
But I think that's all we both have.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'll leave us on this, where in folklore, jinn are capable of assuming human or animal form and are said to dwell in the conceivable and animate objects, trees, stones,
Oh,
ruins,
I
and
didn't think
underneath the
about
earth.
trees.
They can be in the air and they can be in fire.
Oh my
They possess
gosh.
the bodily needs of human beings and can even be killed, but they are free from all physical restraints, which wouldn't that be
Scary.
interesting?
Mm-hmm.
So be cautious and be wary because you don't
Mm-hmm.
know if there's a gin anywhere near you.
Mm-hmm. For
But
sure. Yeah,
that's all we have.
interesting topic.
Yes,
So I was very curious about them. So I'm glad we did this one.
I am too. And I'm just, I don't know how I feel about them.
I don't either. I don't think I want to be working with them anytime soon.
I don't think so either. I don't want to have any type of mischievous energy or anything
Mm-hmm.
near me, but maybe you do. So maybe that's something you want to look at. But
Mm-hmm.
again, be very wary
Mm-hmm.
and be cautionary.
Yes. Yes. Don't wake up as a refrigerator.
No, that would be awful. That would just
Wouldn't
be
that be
awful.
terrible? What a
I
nightmare.
I'll stick with my tummy rolls than rather be a refrigerator.
Do you want to do the outro?
I guess I can. Let's see if I can do it properly.
Okay.
So, thank you for listening. If you want to find any information about us at all, you can go to our website. That's www.c3witchypodcast.com. There we have literally everything about us. We have links to our social media. We have our merch, we have our blog, we have our newsletter there. We have everything in that location. So just click on all our tabs, our drop down menus.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go to our website directly, like our merch website directly, then you can go to www.c3witchypodcastmerch.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our new, no quote new, because now it's been out for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
But we have our spring merch. It will last until about maybe the end of April. So get it
Mm-hmm.
while it lasts because these
Mm-hmm.
designs won't come back out. We try to we try to make new
Mm-hmm.
designs every season, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Season-ish.
new,
Yeah.
relatively
Mm-hmm.
season-ish. So go get that now. We both designed a normal witchy design. We both designed an after dark design, and then we both split up the spring holidays,
Mm-hmm.
pagan holidays, our
Mm-hmm.
Sabbats. So I designed the Ostara and River designed the Imbolc.
In bulk.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting them confused. And so go check that out. What else?
Please support
Support
us.
us.
We
Yes,
need
go to
your
our
help.
YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel, subscribe, comment. If you have to ask us questions, you can email us. You can message us on any of our social medias. We will reply
Mm-hmm.
almost instantly because we don't have lives.
This is our life. What are you talking
This is
about?
our life. Come on. But yeah, so I think that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening,
Thank you for
and
listening.
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
And until then, stay witchy.
Woo.